Yes, in this video we are talking about the field, the main field that is going to be decentralized, but the exponential age that we are living right now. Exponential age is this technical movement, technical trend in which new improvements in technology, new things in technology arrives faster than implementation, and even faster and faster pace, as we saw in the first video. There are a lot of fields that are going to become decentralized. We pick up 8 of them from the beginning. Maybe there will be some more added over down the road. But basically speaking, what comes with the exponential age is the idea that humanity will have the planet will have infinite humanity and infinite energy. This means that there will be an infinite number of power, physical power and brain power to cope with any kind of problem. So if you want to do something, a robot can do it for you. If you don't want to think about something and create have some service, non-tangible service, brain service, you can have it by an artificial intelligence and so on. So that you can imagine that you have an infinite power around you, and then you will have an infinite energy around you, because the technology will provide us with tools, with devices that will be able to capture at home more energy that we need in our life. And that's why we put the energy on the top, and also the finance on the top of because the finance is very important when it comes to these considerations, because the financial world is completely changing. When you know that we say that energy, and we say that growth, economical growth is energy turned into services. Just imagine what happens if energy is for free for everyone. Okay, so that's why we want to explain you now the 8 main fields and how they can become decentralized. Let's start with finance. Finance is a kind of easy to explain, because we already have a deployed use case that is running. I've been running for 15 years, which is Bitcoin, around 50 years, which is Bitcoin. So, and it's very interesting because it shows the planet how you can, functionally speaking, replace a central bank with a peer-to-peer system that mint new money and provide a monetary policy that is immutable, by the way, and act as a bank in the sense that allows you to move money around. This is very important, because if you have this, you can imagine that on top of this kind of Bitcoin, the blockchain like Bitcoin, they just move around money in a very precise and predefined way. You can also have, and you already have, also other blockchain like Ethereum that are programmable, in which you can program any kind of financial service and in it. And so you can really you can mint new money, you can create a kind of digital gold like the Bitcoin, but you can also create new services like lending and borrowing in a new financial, decentralized financial, what we call the DeFi, decentralized finance, that is now competing with the old one. So finance is the most decentralized field of all the 8 fields you see here nowadays. So this is already in place, and we already have a lot of decentralized services that can be used by people. People don't use it a lot because they don't know, because there are still some technical hurdles. Still, this is already in place. The second field is energy. Energy is very important because, as we said, the fact to have infinite energy at home is mind-blowing, is changing the world as ever, because this will never happen in world. The most important, the most urgent things for people is to grab some energy from food, energy from whatever energy, but energy is life. So if you have, but economy also need energy. But if you have energy at home, infinite energy at home, so let's imagine that tomorrow, by 2030, let's be a bit optimistic, we will have a big fuel cell, hydrogen engine, photo solar, photo panel, I don't know, whatever, that can grab by any meteorological condition, by any weather, you can grab more energy that you need, okay, and provide you with this energy at home. In this case, we will completely avoid and remove from the world the Joule effect. So the fact that resistance in wires make us lose 80% of the energy that we produce all over the world. When you produce energy in a mountain and you have to bring it to the town that is 200 miles far away, you will lose 80% of the energy by dissipation, by frictions. And that's why the fact to have this is very good for the planet. And that's why also we think that the planet is a kind of already healing itself. There's no need to do a lot of effort for that. The planet is going very, very well. But more to the point, this energy will change everything, because we just need oil and energy coming from big nation monopoly today. In case of, if you are a big company, maybe you need this, you need so much energy that you need to ask to a bigger than you. But for when it comes to simple people or even simple business, smaller business, which are the most diffused, you will be able to have infinite energy at home. And this is a very important point, that we will track over time the improvement in that, so that we will in the playlist we will follow how this play out over time. Another important field is the cloud. The cloud today, today 90% of the web is running on 3 clouds: Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. There is a bit of DigitalOcean, some other OVH in France, some other, but I mean the lion's share is from the 3. And this means that if one of them decide that blonde people with beard cannot do something, it will not be, they can censor quite easily. And this is a problem. Another bigger problem is the fact that even if you don't know or don't really realize, your digital life belongs to these people completely. And so in order to get back the privacy that the web promised to us initially, we need to decentralize the cloud. And the good news is there are already projects doing that. For instance, ICP, Internet Computer Protocol, NEAR protocol. There are even some completely new OS written down from scratch, like Urbit, that are trying to recreate a new web layer from scratch, from the ground, so that we can create the fairest network from now on. But in any case, it's important to understand that alongside to the Bitcoin that is just moving around the token and money, it is possible to have the blockchains that move around data and that provide the same services as the web services that you have in the web, like for instance ICP. And that's why the more you know these technologies, the more you will be able to benefit from it for yourself, also for your business. These solutions are, generally speaking, cheaper, much more secure. You don't need firewall, you don't need something like that. These all the things from the past. If you have a firewall, call me. You don't need to use a firewall anymore. Okay. And that's why we strongly believe this is completely the future. People don't realize because they don't know what ICP is. When they realize what ICP is, they cannot go anymore to any other cloud. But it's true that ICP should grow a little more, so to become even more decentralized on one side, but also even more powerful. But this will come as a usage growth. So the usage and will grow together with the size of the service. Another important point is the manufacturing. Manufacturing is really linked to the 3D printing. If you have a 3D printer at home today, you can already print objects in 3D, in the 3D space, same way that you printed A4 paper with some images or whatever a few years ago or even now. So in the past, the only person that were allowed to print something was the big companies producing newspaper. But now we have home printers. You can print at home any written things or any image, any 2D things. Now the evolution of that is to be able to print 3D objects in plastic, in metal, in wood, whatever material. If you manage to do that, we will break completely the manufacture, basically, because most of the common objects we use every day will be just printed at home. And in the worst case, there will be maybe more sophisticated, more complex 3D printer that can be installed in a region, nearby, and serve several people, but just around, so that we remove completely this very strange thing that is importing things from China. They won't heal the planet, and they let us import things from China. We should not import things from China because the technology to work with plastic will be done by a robot, though with zero cost, basically. So there are no reason to import from from regions that are cheaper when it comes to wages, because wages is no more wages. Wages is the bot. The bot will create this kind of stuff, the 3D printer, and the miniaturization of the 3D printer will bring us kind of infinite manufacturing at home in the best case, or infinite manufacturing in the nearby. Okay. Another important point is the field is the agriculture. Agriculture, you can imagine to have a bot that do some farming for you, a humanoid bot, or that can take care of living animals, living duck, living whatever, in order to get food from that. This is one possibility. The second possibility that is already a reality is to have some kind of bot, CNC bots, that take care of a small parcel of land, few square miles, but that there are enough to grant a small family, 3-4 people, to give them all the vegetable they need during the year. These are very important, very smart tools, because they embed some artificial intelligence. They are able to remove bad plants and take care of other plants, use fertilizer and so on and so on. And so you will need less fertilizer because you still have people going, these mechanical arms going back and forth, removing bad things. So you can really use those tools. The final idea is that everyone will be able to have a small farm in their garden with some duck and porks and producing a very organic food for everyone. Okay, this is a bit the promise of a decentralized agriculture, and stay with us, tune it, because we will closely follow all those fields for you. Another important field is the art and collectible. Art and collectibles go from cars, collectible cars, or a ball signed by a very famous sport person. But we believe that starting from 2000, especially starting from Bitcoin, rarity and collectible will shift from physical to digital. This is already the case, for instance, with Bitcoin, with CryptoPunks in Bitcoin, that the collection that became very important one very quickly, with some other, for instance, Satoshi. Also on Ethereum, there are some collections that are also very important. There are also Satoshis. For instance, Satoshis is the smallest part, divisible part of the Bitcoin, is a kind of the cent, the dollar. The cent is to the dollar what the Satoshi is to the Bitcoin, okay? And the smallest part, is much smaller than the cent, is at 100 million smaller. every now and then they are perfectly numbered as ordinals, so as ordinal numbers. So every now and then there is some of them that is very rare. For instance, you can have the 1 millionth, the 10 millions, 100 millions, 1 billion. And those are called the rare sats and are already the very good collectibles. So we believe that numeric platform, digital platform that are open source and freely accessible, every now and then create some rarity, because they cannot avoid rarity. So every now and then they will create rarity. And this rarity will be much more, there is much more greed around this that physical object. This is because new generations are not asking for a bag or are also asking for a car. They are asking for digital things that they can show on a smartphone. They live with the smartphone. So in any case, this is the future. And that's why stay with us, because we talk also about the new protocol on Bitcoin and other blockchain that try to boost even more this idea of digital rarity collectibles. The last two fields are about politics and education, and honestly speaking, these are a bit deceiving to me. On one side, politics, because politics, of course, should already be decentralized. By definition, politics is decentralized, is the expression of people that are represented by some politicians. But today, as it works, that the politicians make a lot of effort to be elected, and then they forget about it, because promise. If you listen to something in the year 50 years ago, they say exactly the same thing. They promise the same thing. There is a crisis. There is inflation. That's exactly the same speech for decades. Okay, and then they don't care about not keep a promise, because in any case, so many politicians did that. I mean, so for me, politicians should be just like a trainer in foot or something like that. I mean, coach in foot. If they don't have results, you should be ejected immediately. Why we have this structure in which you do a poll by writing paper and so on to elect someone? Because at the time, my time is very old, is 2 centuries ago, there were no way for people to move and to go to Paris to sign, or to go to, so if each one go to sign in their major office, and then they collect the results and they say who won the elections. But today, with the smartphones, you could vote in real time in a chamber. You could try so you don't even need to be represented by anyone. Why we didn't implement this? Why the politics still works like 2 centuries ago? And that's why we really ask for this renew in politics, when everybody vote at any time, even 7 times per day. Not once every 5 years. Makes absolutely no sense. And so we have just to come back to a true politics. In real politics, it is a real expression of what people want to do. Okay? And then we have education. So education is like finance, is already decentralized. The biggest university in YouTube was in the world was YouTube up until ChatGPT. Now with ChatGPT is even more, because you can create a coach that is teaching you whatever you want, even if it's not your field, whatever. You have a personal coach at home that they can teach you from organic chemistry to web protocols to diet, how to become a diet expert, whatever. And this for at worst $20 per month. So why ever a student should already pay a rent, should already go spend so much time in a classroom for superior study? I mean, a superior school, not college and so on, not university and so on. I mean, it's not. We really need to rebase, to recreate, to rethink the education, because in any case, as we saw at the beginning in the first videos, there is no such thing as a job that lasts one generation. you will have to learn several jobs during your career. So what you need to learn is to learn. You need to learn how to learn, not to learn something like 20 years ago, 50 years ago, when you were a lawyer, and you are a lawyer, and with the knowledge of the lawyer, you can live yourself and maybe even your children. But this is not possible anymore. You must learn. You must keep learning in order to stay afloat and to stay on the edge on what's happening on the world. And it will be even worse in the future. So I think that today the school is not in phase with what the world is and what the world of the professional world is asking for, because we need much more flexibility and much more bright people, smart people that can move and can create a link between different fields, and be able to find, for instance, be problem solving in a context, in an evolving context in which things change very, very fast. So just to conclude, what we have here is the first 8 and the main fields that are going to be decentralized. Stay with us, because we will explain you in detail in each playlist, dedicated playlist to each field, how this will happen over time. We will keep you posted with the major information about that. And stay also tuned for the next video, in which we will explain you how we just went through the biggest peak in centralization in the world, and how this peak is now supposed to be flattened very fast. With the same speed is rised up. It should now, for the same reason, going down.